We're good.
So for those that didn't watch Sunday Night Football last night, at the end of the game, 3 minutes and 30-something seconds left, after a rough outing, which has been his entire season this year. A guy who was in top 3 QBR last year.
Preach it.
Has a worse season going than Josh Rosen had last year when everybody said Josh Rosen might have the worst season a quarterback has ever had in history. Don't worry, Rosen. Trubisky got you this year. That made its way into Sunday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams, which led to being down 10 with 3:30 left, a benching of Mitchell Trubisky under the guise of a hurt hip, which might be true. If that's the case, ignore everything I'm about to say right now. If it was just a sore hip as opposed to an injured hip, listen to what I say, and you can go tell your friends about me saying this. Mm-hmm. If Matt Nagy benched Mitchell Trubisky with 3 minutes and 30-some seconds left, down 10, fourth quarter, Sunday Night Football, world watching, without telling Ryan Pace he was going to do that, this situation in Chicago is about to get awesome. This situation in Chicago is about to become a reality television show. If Nagy benched him without informing Pace, or going into the game, if Nagy and Pace didn't come to an agreement where it was like, hey, if he gets going bad, I'm going to put Chase in. If Pace had no idea and was blindsided by this benching, because Pace and Trubisky, they're tied hand in hand for this entire thing. Traded up to draft him over Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Sources or media heads talking about how the team is built well, it's just not being well coached, or they're coaching all they can. Nagy's PR people putting out references. So I've seen this happen before with Pagano and Grigson, where they weren't on the same page. Both of their jobs were on the line. Everybody thought that one of them was going to get fired, one of them wasn't. So you start seeing anonymous sources and things start saying, and it's never the actual coach or the GM. It's always the people around them trying to save their person. If Pace did not know this was going to happen, look for his person to not be happy about this. Look for him to maybe escalate this situation a little bit between Nagy and Pace. And Nagy, by the way, in that press conference looked like a completely different coach than he normally does in those press conferences. He was kind of happier, more upbeat, a little bit more like he's trying to win the mob. If you win the mob, you win Rome. Bingo. Almost like it's a PR campaign for him. Now, if Mitchell Trubisky's actually hurt, don't listen to anything I just said. And if Pace and Nagy were on the same page, like, hey, yeah, sit him if he doesn't do well, then ignore everything that I just said. But if Bears general manager Ryan Pace had no idea Nagy was going to bench him, especially in primetime like that, boy, this could become an awesome situation to watch unfold in Chicago.
Yeah, I like to think of it like that way more, because if they were on the same page and they decided to bench him there, it's even more egregious. Like, listen, Trubisky stinks. Everyone knows it. He's
not doing well.
Yeah, he's not the guy in Chicago, but Nagy is a moron. Like, a lot of the play calling they had last night, it just doesn't put him in good spots to be successful. And then the same thing, it's like, okay, if you bench him there, then that's all anyone's going to talk about for the next week and a half. That's all anyone's going to talk about when it comes to the Bears.
As soon as it happened, I got a text from the Get Up producers that was like, obviously talking Nagy benching Trubisky.
Exactly. If he does it in the first half when he's not playing well, and then it's like, all right, whatever. We'll
talk about how Chase did. Is it better than Mitchell? That's the conversation.
Exactly. But instead, now he's just giving everyone fodder and fire for this entire week, and it just makes him look like a moron.
And if he has an injured hip, I don't know why they would let him walk off the field all by himself.
Exactly.
It was a bad shot. The ending shot was Trubisky walking off the field all by himself. No teammates, no coaches, no nothing.
And then you're right. Nagy kind of just acts like a horse's ass a little bit in the post-game presser. Like, that's just, I don't know. That's not how I want my guy acting when, again, coming into this year, everyone was like, Bears going to win the division, going to be, one of the favorites to make a run at the Super Bowl. It's like he doesn't give a rat's ass.
Overreaction Monday, obviously. So right. This is what we do here.
Exactly. What
if that was Nagy doing what he's been wanting to do for the last couple weeks and just saying, to hell with it. I'm doing it right now on national television. Prime time. I agree with what everybody's saying. Yeah, this guy is not playing football well this year at all. We thought he was going to be good after what he did last year. He's not good at all. Did you hear what I told him? I told him to go watch the television and see how bad he looks. Nagy's like, listen, this is what we're going to do. Puts a big play call sheet that says BU, and that BU means to me, not to you, Trubisky. You need to be somebody else.
Oh, no.
But I'll be intrigued to see if those two are on the same page.
Exactly.
Because if not, this Pace and Nagy situation will become a fun one to watch unfold. I mean, a fun one because they'll be given different answers. Different media people who have connections to each one will be given different answers. This is how a team gets torn apart.
Exactly.
So, like you're talking about,
when they're going in different directions.
You were talking about earlier. So how did Pagano and what's his name handle it?
Grigson?
Yeah.
It was just through their media people. You could tell who it was. This is how me and Golick got into a beef, right? Golick Jr., by the way, very nice guy. Got to work with him on Saturday. Golick Jr., good. I've never had any problems with Golick Jr. I like the way he operates. I think he was good. His dad, though, his dad told me that nobody should ever listen to me talk and I shouldn't be talking because I came out and said something about that bad fake punt that we had against the Patriots. That almost, I guess it kind of made Chuck Pagano look bad. And at that time, Chuck and Grigson were very much in a PR campaign for who was going to get to keep the job. So you saw the people that were on Chuck's side coming out like, this guy shouldn't talk football, blah, blah, blah. Chuck didn't tell him to do that, by the way. It was just their people were like, hey, this potentially makes Chuck look bad. It's either him or Grigson. Let's go ahead and try to fluff this up a little bit. It's not, Chuck had no idea this was happening. His people, though, the business around it. That's just real life. You'll start hearing people start leaking things. Sources tell us that the locker room has become a blah, blah, blah cesspool. Like, well, who are the sources saying the locker room? Is that a player saying this? That sounds like things just start coming out, you know? And it's just the way it goes, especially when there's millions and millions of dollars on the line, which there is, especially in the third largest city in America, potentially fourth soon because Houston keeps reproducing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough looking at it right now to think that Pace would be sticking with Nagy because he invested so much in Trubisky, but who knows? I don't.
By the way, if Pace is with him and was like, yeah, I made a mistake.
Yeah, good on him.
Awesome.
Right.
That is, if Ryan Pace, the Bears general manager, and Nagy are on the same page that Trubisky should be benched, that is a sign of humility that most general managers do not have. That is a sign of humility by a gatekeeper into a profession that is very difficult to get into that most people don't have. If Ryan Pace said, I made a mistake, let's just put the best team on the field that we can, I respect the hell out of that move by Ryan Pace.
And I just don't see that being the case, though.
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't know.